pupils, and welcome to the channel Tanya's Paludat. In today's lesson, we are going to learn countable and uncountable nouns. If you want to know what are they, please stay.
Welcome to Language Adventure with Tanya. Imagine exploring the world through its languages. Picture yourself strolling past the Eiffel Tower, diving into the rich history of Germany, or savoring the vibrant culture of Spain. Each language opens a door to new experiences, friendships, and understanding. Whether you're mastering English, dancing to Korean rhythms, or savoring French cuisine, every word you learn is a step on this exciting journey. Let's embark on this adventure together and unlock the beauty of communication across the globe.
So you must be wondering, what are countable and uncountable nouns? And the answer is simple. Countable nouns are things that you can count individually. They have both singular and plural forms, and you can use numbers or words like many or few to describe them. Uncountable nouns refers to things that cannot be counted individually because they represent a mass, a substance, or an abstract concept, right? They do not have a plural form, and you typically use words like much, some, or little, and so on. So now let's see what is a countable noun. Countable nouns are things we can count individually, right? Like apple, book, dog, example. These are the things that we can touch or just we see it, we can know how many we have, right? For example, here we have how many apples? Two apples. This is a countable noun because I can count it or touch it. Then I have three books, right? You can touch them, you can see them. We have three books. Then we have here four people, right? We can count them. We will use we will know the difference between countable nouns and uncountable because with countable nouns we can count the things. It doesn't matter if it's people, animals, books, but that we can count, right? Then we have what is uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns are things that we cannot count individually or separate into distinct units, such as water, rice, or information, right? These are the things that we cannot count. For example, I can count the water of the ocean, right? I can count um, the rice. I can count every melody of each song, right? So these are uncountable nouns. Things that is impossible to count. For example, to say one, two, three, it is impossible. You won't say, I have one, two, three, four waters, right? Or three rices, five melodies. Is it not possible? Because you can count how many they have, right? Then let's continue with more examples. We have here examples of countable nouns, the things that we can count, right? For example, objects are physically things that can be seen and touched. As chair, for example, how many chairs do you have in your house? You can count them. How many tables, pen, computers? For example, I could say I have three computers, right? I can count and touch them. Phone, I can say I have two phones, but imagine if you count the phone of your mom, of your dad, of your brother, they are like what, four or five in the house. Then we have socks, right? Remember, countable nouns are things that we can count. For example, I can say, here are three markers, right? I have four backpacks. Then we have more examples of countable nouns. Animals are living organisms that typically move, breed, and reproduce. They can be counted. For example, the cat, the elephant, the bird, the fish, the snake, and the horse. For example, you can say, how many cats do you have? Because they are typically domestic, right? I have one, I have two cats, I have three, and so on. You can count the animals. Or for example, you can say, how many elephants did you see or did you saw in the zoo? And you will say, oh, I saw two elephants, right? How many birds did you see flying on the sky? And you can say, I saw two this morning, right? And the fishes, right? But it's impossible to count them on the sea. So just when you buy it, right? When your mom says, today we will eat fishes. How many we are for? Okay, four fishes, right? Then we have the snake. The snake, you can say, in the forest I saw two snakes. And that will be really awkward or scary, right? Or how many horses do you see? I see two, right? Three or four, it doesn't matter. So, do you remember that countable nouns also can be people, right? For example, we can count people. That's why we say one student or more. For example, here one person, one student, a teacher, one teacher, um, two friends, the family of four, the team, or for example, when you are like in your classroom, right? And maybe the director says, how many students do we have in this section? Now we have 30, and things like that, right? We can count people. Then we have examples of countable nouns, right? We have objects like chair, table, pen, computer, phone, and socks. Then we have the animals: cat, elephant, bird, fish, snake, horse. Then we have people and groups: person, student, teacher, friend, family, team, and whatever that it's a person. And you can count, for example, all the animals that exist in the world if you can count them, right? For example, you can say, I saw two monkeys yesterday. Or in the case of objects, right? You can say, I have two houses and things like that. Is grammatically correct because these are countable nouns. Or for example, if someone asks you, how many teachers do you have right now? Depending on the subjects that you are studying, right? For example, you can say, I have three, one of English, one of math, and so on, right? Then we have here examples of countable nouns. More examples, for example, we have the foods like banana, cookie, sandwich, pizza, eggs, hamburger, whatever, right? Units and measurements in kilogram, liter, mile, hour, dollar. Then we have here more examples. For example, substances, right? Like um these are examples of uncountable nouns. The things that we cannot touch. Well, we could touch them, but we can count. It's impossible because there are millions or many of them, right? For example, milk, sugar, salt. You can count every particulate of sugar, right? It's impossible. Then we have flour, the oil, the wood, and concepts and abstract ideas like love. You can count how much do you love someone, right? You can say, I have two feelings for you, right? That's impossible. Or you can say, my knowledge, I have three knowledge. That's impossible. We can count these things. We can't count them. Then we have advice, patient. We can count how many patients maybe we work with our parents, right? Then we have courage, beauty. You can count how beauty you are or the person that you like, right? There are things uncountables. It's impossible to say it. I have one beauty, I have two courage. That's not possible. So that is uncountable nouns. Then we have here more examples. I can't count the rain or the water, right? It's impossible to count them. How would you could count them? It's impossible. Then we have here more examples of uncountable nouns. For example, materials and mass nouns, right? Like gold, silver, plastic, paper, cement, the air. We can't count the air. It's impossible. Then we have activities and states like sleep, right? You can say, oh, I had two sleeps yesterday. That's not possible. We can count them. We can count them. Then we have work, happiness, chaos, traffic, fun. Let's see more examples of uncountable nouns. For example, the languages and academic subjects, right? Like English, mathematics, history, chemistry, physics, music. There are things that I can count. So now let me know down below in the comments. If you understood, give me an example with countable and uncountable nouns. For example, if you ask me, I could say, I have two cell phones and I can count the salt, right? So write down below in the comments your examples, please. Thank you guys, and I hope that you understood a little bit better what are countable and uncountable nouns. And if you are studying or you will have a test or you have friends or family that wants to learn or improve their language, please send this video and subscribe. Thanks to watch my videos.